Okay, cool. God damn it, I still didn't take those other things out of my deck. Oh well.
I'll write my own story.
Yeah.
Whoa! Hey!
Cool. Filter.
A real battle! I learned my scars.
These old eyes still see far and clear. For the homestead!
I won't back down. So soon.
Silverwing Scout.
The hounds are bound with plates in hand.
chill in the air.
Like my blade?
Let the light guide you.
Our strength is yours!
Let's brighten up their day.
There's a scent in the air. Gotcha.
I've got your back. Bring them home safely.
Just need a target.
My arrow won't miss!
Never back down from what you believe.
Save the homestead!
Illuminate the enemy! Lift with your back, not wait. Ha. Too soon.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler. You must learn to fight. We are crown guards.
Someday you'll understand my path.
A true Freljordian welcome.
Into battle with hearts aglow! shelter.
Petricite does not play favorites.
Pushing my limits!
You chose pain. Through the eye. Lux, no!
Till the end.
For the honor of my house.
Let us get going.
Illuminate the enemy!
Help is underway. See the Demastian border from here.
Where there is life, there is hope.
A true Freljordian welcome. Knocked and ready. Arrows at the ready.
For the homestead.
Stay back.
Act with conviction, by force of will.
Save the homestead.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
We must make our own path.
Ready the torches. Light the signal fires.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler. Sends chills up my spine.
Where's Furry? What do you mean? Let's see if they're willing to stop this. Yeah.
I'll lead us to victory!
Is that what they do? Don't know what Why is my bot talking? No one attacks. No one gets to attack this time. It's just not happening. Alright. Get some monsters out. I haven't declared an attack. Feel like I should. So let's attack.
Bitter cold.
Yep. This bitch decay. I have no cards. They have so many.
The frost reveals all.
They're also so weak. This is the kind of deck I want to build, but they don't seem to have built it very well. No, okay. Guess that was cool.
Let's
Frost
fly.
first, frost. Yeah, there's plenty of builds I want to experiment with. It's cool seeing for the first time, but this is not doing its job too well. Like, if they got another Winter's Frost, whatever it's called, then sure, they can wipe all this out. I hope they do, or they shouldn't have played that. Yeah, Winter's Breath. There we go. It's taken them so long to get running. So long.
Do not question our resolve. The answer
Finally,
lies
Karma
within.
gets enlightened. It's, I mean, I guess it's okay that Karma's in this deck. It's just, not sure. Also, what was that just happened? Probably GG. Get this deck only gave me, as much as I've complained, it never gives me starting units. It gave me starting units the whole time. I've been enlightened for 2 rounds.
The time is right.
We're
Strike
going
now.
to frost. Oh, the 2 frost. Oh yeah, of course. Karma, which is really cool because then, Winter's Breath, Karma just like, oh, everything's dead. It takes so long to get there. I think it's worth it. Full health. They put far too many eggs in the endgame basket. Paid off, but I would not build the deck like this.
Lathrian only.
Yeah. More things to be frostbitten.
Swiftly now.
Do not question our resolve.
All of them target. They all targeted this one. This one happened to get frozen too. Oh. Because Ash is level 2.
Tune
So it
up
counts.
the tribe.
Very. No, that was a horrible start for both of us. It's got to assume that their deck had a... Oh, okay. All of the 0 experience. You get 0 experience if you lose by more than 20? What is my highest? Level minus 28 or whatever that other one was. It was entertaining. Ah, see, that's more what I'd aim for. Nivea and Ash would be really fun. Don't care if it's useful, would be fun. Half reasonable.
I learned my scars.
It's on as well. I particularly want to. I'm good. Fair. More Yetis. I'm good. Me too. Ah, there. Eh.
A true Freljordian welcome.
Freeze you before you can freeze me. Yeah, see, there you go. An eye for an eye. Alright, get some other stuff out there.
Can see the Demastian border from here.
Would it be worth it? That's alright. We'll just block when the time comes.
A true Freljordian welcome.
So, same thing. Keep this going.
Take you. Arrows at the ready.
Let's see.
Stay back. Save the homestead.
shrouded world.
Good.
The frost reveals all to me.
What's up? I don't have a rubber duck on my desk.
There's a scent in the air.
He's talking to the rubber duck. Really wants it dead. You know, it might be time for that to finally die. Can get a Nivea out instead. Yeah. Cool. I'm done.
A storm approaches.
Leaping into action. My life for Avarosa. Save the homestead.
Uh, 6 mana. What you got? Nah.
Sends chills up my spine.
Like I could, but yeah. Do I want to? Do I want to? What would he do? Caution to the wind. Let's see what else this deck's got. Chica, fine.
A true Freljordian welcome.
Okay. Interesting. She can still declare an attack. She can still freeze everything.
Rend the skies.
Alert the village!
Oh, that's why. I never know whether barrier will protect against this. I suppose it's a good time to find out. This is the kind of shit I need to learn. Only one way to find out. Even though, like, there's literally no point in me doing it, because... Oh, no, there's no point in me doing it. But does it protect it? With 2 mana? I don't think he's got a way to kill my Anivia Egg.
I will be reborn.
She'll be back. Mystic Shot. We'll see. But anyway, does Barrier protect against spells like that? Because then I could keep Anivia alive.
Ice runs in our veins.
Ah, it's going to try to clear an attack. Ah, Barrier does not. Yeah, that's what I was... Like, I'm happy to experiment. I don't mind losing. A lot of this is just mucking around, seeing what combinations of different stuff do what. A heads up, I've been playing this for 4 days. Just kind of casually. So, haven't bought any cards, used like 3 wild cards total. I have almost nothing. Fine. I guess I'll kill the Yetis. That still leave me with enough. Egg for you. It's alright. What else you do? Let's see if this protects against this effect. Because this is a kill effect, so we'll see. Yeah, it still does. Gotta find out.
Frost revealed all to me.
That's what half of these cards are for. Just find out.
Rom is on the job.
Do like that card. It's getting pretty low. Similar boat. Got nut.
The War Mother will unite us all.
Up there in the mountains!
Okay. So, let's kill these things.
My shield is my sword.
Whittle you down.
Show me your best. Avarosans, stand together.
Okay.
It is easy, see?
Sends chills up my spine.
I told you.
We're okay so far. What else you got? How many more Yetis you got? Just one.
My aim is true.
Ready.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Getting a phone call. Alright, this could be important.
Think hard. Think strong.
Out there!
A chill in the air.
My arrow won't miss.
Save the homestead.
take you.
Many tribes under one banner.
Okay, come here. I have no idea what's been going on. I've just been throwing cards at them.
This is our homeland.
I have no idea what's happened.
This'll take the chill off.
Hmm. Did you hear? Oh. Name. It's alright.
Stay back.
You can level up, that should be enough.
Something ancient stirs.
They can target it. Also have, you're saying this is a War Mother control deck? This isn't really anything in particular. This is just a bunch of cards that I thought kind of go wellish together and are fun to play. Actually half of them are like, because there's half of this deck that is like, okay, let's get a Nivea, let's keep them controlled, let's keep them down, and then there's the other half, which is like, well, we need to survive to get to that point, so let's kind of try and freeze things, stop them, kind of try and build up slowly and build up to the point where I can get Tryndamere out. Like, it's like two half decks kind of shoved together because I couldn't make a full one of anything. Anyway, let's do this.
For my homeland!
Get them to attack.
I've got meat bigger than you.
Last person who came in and tried giving me tips about the game got frustrated because I was like, dude, I know you're trying to say that my deck is all over the place, but it's literally the only cards I have. So they were like, your deck is so stupid. There's like nothing that works well with anything. Like, I don't know. I think the deck kind of works. It ain't competitive, but I did put effort into kind of making this as good as I can at the moment with the cards I've got on hand. Do I want to keep Anivia alive? It's pretty much like my opponent here. Yeah. Like, I could go and buy a bunch more of the cards. I have 2 Inivias. I could get a third. What I'd prefer, though, is Ash. Like, I want to make an Ash Anivia deck. What's he going to throw out now? One thing I've noticed, though, I keep getting spells. I only have 7... No, not 7. I only have 13 spells in this deck. And my hand ends up full of spells.
The spirit of winter awakens.
So, who do I frostbite? They're gonna want to try and kill the egg. What, Ash Anivia? It's just more that I want to be able to keep the frost thing going with, like, you can't do anything early game and have that carry into the late game before I can get Anivia out. Because otherwise the Anivia deck by itself should be able to fall early game. Now the decision is, who do I freeze? Or do I freeze either of them? I'll just let this happen. What are you doing? I have mail?
Endless cold.
I'll just let it happen. Just one? Alright. Who's it from? Let's see. There's a few things he can do here. So I fully expect him to use Avalanche or similar. Kill an ally to draw 2 cards. That's... I'm preparing for Avalanche. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. He's got enough mana to do it twice. And I'll try and deal 3. Ah, it's a Shadow Isles one. He still has Avalanche, I believe. But let's give it a go. Avalanche. Yeah.
Wrapped in cold silence.
Whereas could have prevented that if I used Harsh Winds.
A new era begins.
But I have Interview here anyway. I just would have taken a lot less damage. The idea is I can play this next turn. Do it.
Rest in ice.
Egg. One hatch.
A new era begins.
2 hatch. Red blue? Red hatch, blue hatch. Alright. See the random card I get. Gonna fuck me over. Get.
The heart
It's a Braum.
muscle. Return to us.
Chica. So I don't think in Anivia, I've always wondered what the Rekindler does if no other champion has died. I've never had a good opportunity to test it.
My shield is my sword. We should be friends.
Or is it summon a random one that you have available?
It is easy, see?
Let's soar!
Yeah. If it summons a random one that you've got available, that would be cool. Or is it like the most recently played one? Or is it because Anivia technically died but got replaced with an egg? And therefore, since she died... Like, I don't know how the graveyard works in this. As far as I know, there is no graveyard. I haven't been able to find one or see one.
Stay safe, my friend.
Same letter. Sorry. Doing several things at once here, too. Opening mail. Yeah, cool. Alright. Are we getting 0 XP? I don't know why I'm getting 0 XP all of a sudden. I was getting 50 for a loss before. Have I played too much? I keep meaning to tweak this deck. Oh, okay. No limit on winning. That makes sense. Then I should tweak this deck and fix it up. I don't like any of these. Mildly better, but not really. I mean, at least I'm actually losing now. When, like, my first 2 days of playing was just constant win. So... this is a significant improvement in the kinds of decks that I am facing. Looks like the first deck, no, second deck I tried to make.
Ready for deployment!
Kind of feels a bit all over the place. Demacia Freylord, I tried once. It, don't know, didn't feel right. These things are okay, but...
Who does not know the name Laurent? You call this a fight?
Oh.
Aha!
Yes. Same cost. I had to spend 4 to get that, but... One thing I've noticed, though, is if I have duplicates, I'm going to see them very close to each other. Or not at all that game. So, like, this... Alright, so here's my second one of it. Which I'm still not convinced need to be in this deck. Avalanche, I'm expecting in the next 3 or 4 cards to see the second Avalanche. I will actually be quite surprised if I don't. Not so much about what's in my first hand, but if I draw a card, I'm going to draw its duplicate within the next, like, 5 cards.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Oh, it's these things. I remember you.
Our strength is yours.
Actually, almost beat a guy here, but clicked on the wrong thing accidentally and screwed everything up. You just focused on buffing the shit out of this. May have been the same guy. Probably was. Again, it feels clunky. It doesn't really work so well.
We fight for one Freljord.
A true Freljordian welcome.
I'm also quite scared of losing any people in battle. We'll see how he reacts.
This one shows promise. Uncle,
Hello?
it is good to see you.
He really doesn't want
Harry
to
the
fight.
host, you are hardly fair.
Ooh, he's throwing things down now. I should have attacked. I also I wish that it highlighted what opportunities you had more. This is flaming because he's launching an attack. But when it's just sitting there, I don't notice it. And if I lose track of whose turn it is and don't pay attention properly because literally life is happening around me in the share house, then it doesn't be like, are you sure you want to end your turn before attack? It'll be like, dude, you've got the attack token. It should be flaming and lighting up when you're ready to use it. When I'm already using it, yes, I know I've declared an attack. You don't have to light it up. Tell me when it's ready. Don't make it pretty to watch. Make it, like, useful to play.
This is our homeland.
I guess you really want me to do this.
Stand and defend.
What? Why do you want me to whittle these down?
No regrets.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Our strength is yours.
Right. I don't see the point though. I don't know why I use the crystal there though. Because could have got Tryndamere out, Anivia out next turn. Use the crystal if I really needed it to level up. That's about it. Otherwise just waited. How many more things you gonna summon? So now my choice is, do I get insta level 2 Anivia and start attacking? Probably. What do I get? Tryndamere. I don't know how many more blows of buffed that I can take. And I have a deny.
The Freljord's eternal guardian! Allies, answer my call!
Okay. Well. So.
Let's soar!
Do that. Not yet.
Avarosans, stand together!
A waste of my time.
I pity you.
Rest in
Till the end.
Onward to victory.
I demand satisfaction. Aha!
Yeah. Just lose. No, I'll drag that on much longer. Yeah, now let me actually make those changes I keep wanting to make. So I don't see the point in having this in there anymore. I think I removed one before, but I was like, I don't know why this is here. When there are much stronger units elsewhere. Like, this could help, but tempted to get that instead of it, but they're both still fairly weak in terms of stats, which in the beginning is kind of what I need. What you called? No life? What region are you from? I can look at that, can't I? Maybe. I mean, it says you're online and able to be challenged, so I assume. How do I do it? Let me save this. Alright, sorry, go again. So if I pick this, let's go. Because I feel like fair. Especially to do something reasonable. You can still hear me though, so. But yeah, like I feel that the main control deck should fall to like Noxian Zorn. Should just be able to wipe the floor with it. Have bird. Wait, boy, free attack. Oh, don't worry. I don't think you'd want to. Like, there would be no point in showing me. Like, oh, look, this is what a really, really awesome deck can do. I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, if I wanted to see, like, what awesome decks can be built, I'd watch YouTube videos. I know that. You're not stupid. It's just, yeah, like I'm just playing cards that are fun. Yeah, exactly. No, don't worry. Don't worry. I don't expect you to like. Oh, I don't. We're gonna be. Oh my god, your deck's so much better. No, no, it's fine. I don't expect you to have built me with a fucking. Sorry, coming at me with a. Here, more things.
In the
It's
War
stupid.
Mother's name.
Probably could, but I haven't got a great start here, so. I'm not too, like, I don't know why Shadow Isles is in the control deck. It's always felt like,
Is it the mustache? Who knows? First we fight. Good luck. Have fun.
I always felt like the weaknesses in the control deck can be mitigated with Ionia. And like yeah, sure, the Shadow Isles has a couple of cards more than Ionia has when it comes to trying to duplicate and keep the control on and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think, like, you could be 50% good at the early game and 90% good at getting that Anivia out and getting that up there. Or you can be 100% good at the Anivia but have the shittest early game and have to hope your opponent fucks up early. I'd rather have a chance early and know that I'm going to win late. Either way, I don't need to completely destroy late. Let's go. Oh no, I get the idea, but again, it's like it's when the Anivia comes into play. If they're doing it right, you shouldn't get to 10. You will die before round 10. Any deck designed to take on an Anivia deck will die before round 10. If it's with SI. That's why I don't run SI with it. I don't like having that weakness there. But I've never liked like min-maxing anyway. It's too boring to be like, oh, here's the optimum way to play. Okay, fine, but
Let's show our friends the door.
But
We
why?
should be friends. Our banner will lead the way.
Killer if you want. Here's a bunch of stuff.
This is our homeland.
Yeah, I do really like the Ionia region for that. Again, I built this deck to stall. We're on round 6. I have almost half health too. If this deck was designed to rush you down, this would be gone. I'm sure a properly well-designed deck designed to rush down, Anivia won't make it to round 8. Doesn't matter how many mana crystals you have. Sorry, of those gem things that give you more mana. Like, it doesn't matter. You will die before Anivia starts to snowball. Maybe. I could be proven wrong, but again, especially at the cards at my disposal in Shadow Isles, I do not have, like, I have one of the core cards. It's not worth it for me right now. What you want to do? What do you want to do? You good.
Time for talking to. Good luck. Have fun.
He's almost there.
I fight another day.
That's fair. It deserved it. It hurt your bra. It needs to die. I don't think that counts. Wait, what counts as damage actually for Braum? Like if I had luck, oh no, what's the other chick that gives? If I gave him barrier, does that count as surviving the damage, or does he actually like it has to count down the life points, right? Otherwise it doesn't count as damage, it just didn't go through. Pretty sure that's how. But like with barrier, is that counting as taking damage? Yeah, it doesn't actually take damage with that. Oh, fair. What am I doing? Not much. I didn't think so. But again, it's one of the many things that I haven't had a proper chance to test.
Avarosans, stand together.
Let's see. So many things that I could be doing to stop this. But I never do. Yeah, exactly.
We fight for
I think I'm aware of that. But not so much the others. Um. Amusement and shoes. We've done anything like this earlier? Yes. Just like what? That was big. Would have been fairly. I've had other things. I've been enjoying nothing but spells this entire time. This deck has a really, really bad habit of that. So no, I could have done that to Braum earlier and survived taking the 10 damage. But decided against it. That's about all I can do. That's next to useless. Also, this bit, that Iceborne Legacy, I didn't realize. Because I always read the text on that to be... Like, there's plenty of things of, like, give everything that's in your deck +1/+1, right? These things. Grand allies in your deck +1/+1. If you add a card to your deck after, it doesn't get that buff. Because that's not a buff to the deck, it's a buff that applies to each card. Every buff that I've ever seen applies to a card. So that Iceborne Legacy is the only thing that I've ever seen that actually applies to it. It is just this global thing looming over. So I was like, oh, they've buffed spiderlings with it. Oh, I mean, that's fine. How many of those do they even have out in their hand and in the deck? Not many. No, even things that cause spiderlings to apparate out of spiderlings that didn't exist before, that you couldn't have physically put counters on, still get that buff. It's the only card in the game that I know of that is like a global buff, not an individual. Every card gets this, and then it leaves play. Never seen something like that before. But everywhere, like if you say, like everywhere, if the card is nowhere, then it's outside of the set of everywhere. Like mathematically, that's not how that works.
Winter take you.
That's a buff egg.
Guardian.
Buff egg. So also Iceborne Legacy applies to the egg, because that's technically a Nivea. Different card, same thing, but... I didn't think it... Like, it says egg Nivea. I guess it's technically kind of the same thing. Just, From safety. Yeah. Is actually fairly good to know. It could help. That egg is far too squishy.
Homeland.
Our banner will lead the way. You are safe with Brom.
Live, Brom, live. He will, actually. He will live.
Stand behind Brom.
Here, have some things.
Stay back.
I live to tell another tale. Yeah, exactly. You do some insta kills, but that's the thing. Of like, everyone's like, see, look, Shadow Isles. It's so buff. It's so strong. You'll never win. It's like, man, if you are facing an Anivia deck and you let it get to this point, I don't care whether you have the chance to lose. You should quit. Just give up. You are bad. That's the whole thing of like, it's like overkill. It's like, oh, but the deck is incredibly strong late. Like, there shouldn't be a deck that can beat a weak version of an Anivia deck once it gets going. Once you've got control, you're going to win. You don't need to control harder. You're going to win. And Ionia makes it so that you can get there, and also if they do miraculously have something that may have been able to stop you because you're not controlling as hard as you could be, Ionia will just be like, no, nope, control. Like, Ionia has a lot of spell and monster control. It's got a lot of utility. It should help you get there.
See the world through new eyes. This is our time.
It took its time, but it's here. Go, Anivia! Give it everything you've got! Ah, it's just it's got... Actually, I wonder...
A true Freljordian welcome.
For a moment. Well, it says everywhere. When I first read that card, I thought the keyword everywhere I thought meant on both sides of the field, like for both people, not literally everywhere, including nowhere. But only for you. Everywhere in other games, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't know, what other things do I know well enough to say that definitively? But I'd imagine Magic the Gathering, if something says everywhere, it means on both sides of the field. And in both decks and in both hands. Not just everywhere and also anything that exists outside of the subset of everywhere, but only for you. Because my deck is somewhere. My deck is more somewhere than the spiders that are yet to exist yet. I have beef with the word everywhere. Definitely. I get it, and I don't think it's unbalanced. I just don't like the fact that when I first saw it, it did something different to what I expected.
I protect this place.
Battle of the Birds!
I will be reborn.
But is this out of beta yet? It wasn't meant to be out of beta like a week ago. And all of us, like, I don't know whether it's out of beta. And if it is, then it was rushed out of beta because they didn't intend to release it this quickly. So. It's just like, fine, I'll drain it. Alright, fine. Well, I get health. Is there my other note? Yeah, perm. What? Yeah. Now it's extra happy. Go, my jubilant Paro.
Stand together.
Hello, Stefan. Hey. But yeah, that's why I'm not sold on. Well, we've both learnt things today. But no, that's why I'm not sold on the Shadow Isles. I just don't think that winning extra hard when you were already going to win is worth reducing the chances of whether you were already going to win. How do you get 100 XP from a loss? Also, how come you get XP from challenge matches? You could just farm XP by purposefully throwing games as quick as possible. It's like, go, surrender, go, surrender, go, surrender. If you take turns surrendering, you're both going to rack up XP. That shouldn't be how it is. Certainly not the case in League of Legends. Even if you have a nice balanced long game where everyone's trying really hard. Sorry, it's a custom match, so you don't get any rewards from it. Like, Shadow Eyes has early game removal spells? Does it? It has... no, this isn't what I'd want anyway. It has... Vile Feast and Black Spear, which are required for it. Because you do, like, if you don't have these, you're not going to last. These alone aren't going to cause somebody to last, though. It's like, in any Shadow Isles deck, you need these because Shadow Isles alone can't give you what's required to last through the early game. Shadow Isles is an incredibly weak early game. You need to spam the shit out of things or hope and stall. Is that let me only Shadow Isles. But there's heaps of things I don't own. The box is 4 mana. I wouldn't call that early. You should be starting to. I don't know. Like I've never had a. If I have an okay start in that deck, I know I'm going to lose by round 4 most of the time. Based on the start. If I get an okay start and I can kind of stall for long enough, then it's going to be fine. Or it's going to be close, or like, who knows? It could be anybody's game. But if I haven't gotten much by round 4, then I've guaranteed lost, which is the main problem with the deck because there's too many spells. I feel that, especially without a lot of these cards, if I just had Vile Feasts, Black Spear, things like this, like, okay, cool. I don't have anything to die, so I can't do anything. Oh, I've got a bunch of spiderlings, so I'm not doing enough. And there's only 3 of them. I don't know, I just find it a lot more reliable to have cards. Hapless Aristocrat I like, because then he can block 2 attacks, because he's also got a spiderling. Round 3, but again, like, and have like the box deal 3 to each enemy that was summoned this round. I guess maybe that could work against a rush attack. Like, I'm just thinking of the things that I know could take down that deck, a control deck. You have many small units hoping to survive in the lake. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether the Shadow Isles really keeps you alive that much better. I really think that there's enough. Like Omen Hawk, not really. I don't know why everyone runs like Omen Hawk's weak. I guess it's throw it out there anyway. It's literally just there as a meat shield and it might buff something important. I like it, but only because of the Tryndamere side of my deck. Oh no, I know. I'm more having this discussion with you, not to be like, no, I don't want to do it, but more that like, I want to know the reasoning behind it. I keep saying it's like I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. You don't have to sit here and try and convince me. But yeah, like I get it. Especially the box. Like the box, I think makes a massive difference, in my opinion. If the box didn't exist, the Shadows just plain wouldn't work, as far as I'm concerned. I will check. I think I've seen them online. I think I know it. I've seen it. Again, though, when I looked through it, I'm just going, okay. Just seemed really like wait a, I'll check, I'll look at it in here so you can see what I'm looking at. Let me copy it. God damn it. Why can I not? Copy. Got it. All right. Go ahead. I have to import a deck. What don't I like? Dang, that's something I'm playing with at the moment. It's pretty bad. That was entertaining, but this is the new version of it, so I'll get rid of you. Sorry, I have to bail to do so. I do have a valid code. I mean, maybe. I think it still falls to aggro decks in its current state, though. But we can give it a go. No, if you don't mind just wasting a bunch of time on me. What do I missed an E. What deck? There's many I don't have. Okay, fine. So, edit. No. I was missing an E, because my client wouldn't let me copy it properly. If I selected the whole thing, it would deselect it. So yes, the Darkwater Scourge. I saw a lot of. Yeah, I get the whole vibe of like you don't need level 1 monsters. Would have thought that it would have Hapless Aristocrat, because then you can Vile Feast and have this. It was just like decent meat shield to start with. Darkwater Scourge because it requires lifesteal, or you will, or like so that if there is a deck that's got like ephemerals or what's the other thing, elusives, you need to be able to survive until the point where you can take them out, because you can't really combat those terribly well without. And Withering Whale is really good at like, oh, there's a deck that's just going to assault me continuously with like 1/1s, 2/1s, and 3/1s. No, you don't get to do this, and I get to heal. It's fairly cheap for the amount of impact that it can have. So I I get that. I originally attempted to make something like that, but I don't have Darkwater Scourge, so I only have 2 of these. I don't have any of these. So I have no form of lifesteal. If I don't have lifesteal, it doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. I only have 2 avalanches. I don't know what's the point of Avarosian Heartguard or Hearthguard in this deck. I am confused, because when you get to 5 mana, you're really looking to get a Nivea out very soon. You're probably going to be casting Catalysts, which means that you are going to get a Nivea out like next round. Or you'll get 1, maybe 2 of these out, absolute most, and you should have an Anivia by then, and you're going to be max mana. At that point in the game, you're duplicating Anivia, not worrying about trying to get more of this guy out. By the time you're getting him out, you're done with the spamming. You're done with throwing out. In fact, there is nothing else. Because it was like, anything you're summoning is early game is trying to like survive Vile Feast, just keeping people at bay, taking some damage, trying to heal it up a bit. What is it going to buff? It doesn't buff the egg. When Anivia gets revived, she loses the buff. When the egg comes, it loses the buff. Literally the only monster in this deck that this card helps is Scourge. And it's a 3 mana. You might have had it out already. I know it's not. I find it fun though, but also I really like freezing and denying. So that's why I'd really like an Anivia Ash deck. Again, I don't know how competitive it would be, but I don't plan on being too competitive about this. If I wanted to be competitive, I'd go back to playing ranked in League of Legends all day. But I do Anivia Ash because if Ash was cheaper, but yeah, in keeping everybody frozen, using the Frost Wolf things to kill them while they're frozen, deny them that way really early. And then let Anivia take over later. Though I think that would scale better into Ash Tryndamere. But then I have to say goodbye to Anivia. The reason why I fell in love with Anivia in the first place is because I kept having a problem. I noticed everyone I was facing, not so much anymore, but there's still quite a few. It's like 50% of them. But it was a good, like, what felt like 70+% of the decks were all Elise and Zed, or Elise Zed. But at least had either Elise or Zed. And the whole thing about them was burst them down before they can do anything. Summon lots of things, don't let them get ahead. But if you survive for long enough, those decks just fall right off and can't do anything. Then I got an Anivia in a random drop and was like, oh, hell yes, no, I need this. I need this in my life. And I started to say, oh, Elise isn't a problem anymore. I built a deck designed to control to the point where I get Anivia out and I don't care about your spiders. But then the other decks that aren't the Elise decks, it's not as good at if they just play normal monsters because I can't keep them at bay when they're summoning things with like 4 or 5 health. And that's why my current deck has a bunch of other bits and pieces in it that is, again, half an Anivia deck and half a... I'm going to play regularly and try and freeze things and keep them at bay until I get to the point where I can use Tryndamere and Overwhelm and just smack you harder than you can try and smack me. That's how I got to here on day 4 of playing this game. You got literally anything to say about the entire spell. I just went on a ramble there, so you don't have to say anything about it. But like that's context as to where I'm at and where I'm coming from. Again, I could be completely wrong. I have no idea what pro play looks like. I have no idea what other decks look like. I've started losing a whole bunch recently, which means that clearly what I've got in mind isn't working as well as I hoped it would. I do know that this is one of the better ones out there. And I also get the idea that, yeah, sure, there are decks out there that can wipe the floor with this deck. There are decks out there that can stop this from getting there in the first place. There are decks that might be able to beat it with a really specific combination of cards when it, even if it's like fully ramped up. But you might face those decks 20% of the time. You win the other 80%. 80% win rate, you're laughing. But no, I've 100% fallen in love with Freljord. First I really liked Braum and thought that whole mechanic and the amount that he can stall was fantastic. Then I got Tryndamere. I was like, Tryndamere's really awesome. Cool, this is amazing. And started just playing around with those. That was before I got Anivia. I've looked at all the other champions. I guess Karma, Heimerdinger might be fun. But I have no interest. The one thing that I have learned, probably the reason why I'm obsessed with having Ionian as the second part of the deck. Yeah. Probably the thing that I like about Ionian, or the reason I like Ionian so much is because I kept facing Noxus decks during the time where I was obsessed with Braum. Um, yes. During the time I was obsessed with Brom, yeah, kept fighting the Noxus X, and it's like kill something with 3 or less power. Like, oh, okay, I guess he dies every time, or every time he gets hit, it's the guillotine or whatever it is. Like kill a damaged champion, and then kill another. Or no, kill a damaged ally, follower, whatever. Kill a damaged something. It was just like, oh, okay, this entire deck. The whole point, I expected the Noxian deck, the Noxian faction, sorry, to have lots of high power, low, I don't know what this is called, low defense, low health, high power, low health monsters. Not many effects, just spam the crap, buff the shit out of the damage of your monsters, hurt them if you need to, bash your head against that wall until it breaks. Because that is Noxious. That's what it does. That's what they've always been about. The fact that they've got all of this other denial stuff, I guess, yeah, killer thing is very Noxious. But it just doesn't seem fair for the ones that already have, hey, you're superpowered. Hey, I'm going to keep beating you unless you have a good defense. Being like, if you're focusing on defense, you're going to die. To fight Noxious, you have to fight Noxious with Noxious, even harder than they do. I don't struggle with them anymore, but I now have a pet peeve against them and refuse to play a deck with Noxious in it. Because I don't feel it embodies the ideals of Noxious at all. Anyway, I'm surprised. So yeah, no, I would if I was to build this deck, I would legitimately take out the Avarician Hearthguard because again, I have no idea why it's there. It doesn't add anything to the deck as far as I'm concerned, and add like the Undying, so that if you are gonna keep doing bulk damage with Avalanche and things like that, at least, hey, look, my deck kills things a lot. Excellent. This thing likes to die. But I don't know whether there's a mid section, like a mid game, where you need a 5/5 monster and a 2/2 just ain't gonna cut it when it can't defend. Maybe? I don't know. Haven't played it, so I don't know. Yeah, okay. So it is because it's just there is... He has strong meat shield and happens to buff things. Are there really not other 5-cost units that have good defense? Like, deal 1 to all battling units. Why not him? You can deal damage to other battling units, no one minds. It would be even better with the control. It's like a mini Anivia. Your other monsters won't mind. And only if you're attacking. You can just use it as a defense. I just don't see the point of, like, if there was... If there isn't, unfortunately, not in these ones available. The Avarician Hearthguard, total of 10. Total of 13. I guess he's fairly strong. It's... yeah, true, but still. Like, this deck has included this. I've looked at the history of this deck and seen it be tweaked here and there. Like, I've researched it for like half an hour. This has always been there. This has always been a core part of the deck. I don't know whether other cards have been introduced and people just haven't... Like, I'd expect people to have experimented. So there must be a good reason. Like, just must be better. Feel like you're winning more when you have this compared to any of the other cards that you could have. Nah, it's fine. No, you already made a good point, because I was just like, but this card's effect is bad. Why can't you just get a 5 cost card without an effect if you wanted a meat shield? Because there isn't one. There literally isn't one. But no, the question I asked before, the rekindler. So, if you use a rekindler and a champion of yours hasn't died yet, does it just not? Because there's no indication. It doesn't light up a different color. It doesn't highlight something in the card. And without the ability to see my graveyard, there's no graveyard button, right? Not that I've found. The only way that I could figure out whether the rekindler was going to revive something, if I can't remember, is to click on the history and scroll up and search for it, and probably actually get to the point where I didn't even get time to summon him while looking through the history of the game to see whether one of my champions has died this game. I'd really like them to introduce a graveyard of sorts. But if it doesn't, does it revive anything? Or does it just not proc the effect? Does it just kind of summon any old one? Or is it from, like, even including your opponent's graveyard? Click the War Mother you tried to send a link and that blocked it, but I might be able to see it here. I've read about it though. So if you don't have any dead champ, it will do nothing. Okay. Is there a way to find out whether you've got a dead champ apart from scrolling through the entire match's history? Is there just a graveyard button I haven't found yet? Just so I know what that actually is. What was in here? Oh wait, what was my best attempt? Yeah, I got rid of it. Yeah, I did, because I tried to make as close as I could to the War Mother deck at one point, and I just didn't have any of the components. I was missing so much. Oh, does it? Are you allowed third-party stuff on here? Again, I'm just too used to League of Legends, where if you have anything third-party, even if it's like just counting how much, like how many double kills you've got in a week, they're like, no, we're gonna ban your account because you have an advantage over your opponent because you have information they don't have. I'd say having an app showing a graveyard would give you a slight unfair advantage. because I think it should be a critical part of the game. There are so many cards that interact with the graveyard. The fact that you can't see it means that those with memory are automatically at an advantage. People who can remember things easier are just automatically better. All right. Well, if everyone else is using it, I'm happy to use it. I just, yeah, I'm used to Riot being like, third-party things are bad. If it's not part of our game, we decided it for a very good reason, because Riot loves railroading you into playing exactly how they wanted you to play. They designed the game being like, this is how the players will play it, and it will be glorious. And then people find other ways to play, and they're like, this is not what we wanted to happen at all. Guys, stop. And everyone's like, but we're having so much fun. This is even better than we thought the original one was going to be. This is the best way to play it. And Riot goes, well, we're going to stop that by nerfing shit to the ground. We can't have you play. You can't have you guys having fun. We wanted minions to run around doing exactly what we envisioned. And they have a big track record of doing that. It's definitely no Blizzard. Blizzard's a horrible company. But Riot, like, Riot's fine compared to other gaming companies. Fine, but their games can be annoying because they feel very railroady. You must play this way. But I found a new way to. Don't worry, we'll fix that. There won't be a new way to play our game. Things I like the most about playing games is being able to muck around, do what I want, find different ways to do things, even if they're ineffective. Constantly trying to find new ways around doing things in League of Legends. Apparently to Riot's dismay. So what's it called? How do I find it? Can we get a graveyard element? Deck tracker. Here we go. Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you for all your help. Sorry, I kind of just stopped as we've been talking and looking at decks because I've been clicking the links and reading and stuff. um, happy. Well, I might be playing League or something else if or when you come back. But if you want to play more, or if you want to keep versing or challenging, or if you want me to just come back and you can keep watching me bash my head against that wall that is my current deck. Yeah, just say in chat. I'll be like, yeah, sure. If I'm not currently playing with people in League or whatever game I happen to be playing, I'll happily swap back over. Download deck tracker. Awesome, found it. Yay! Awesome. Cheers, buddy. So Riot's response as to why they're not having a graveyard in Legends of Runeterra is the reason why people like graveyards is because thematically they're dead and sinister, and it's really cool to raise things from the dead. But they don't need it in Legends of Runeterra because they can hit that through other means. Anyways, Twin and Echo in Hearthstone hits this, as do cards that create a card in either games. Okay, yes, Twin and Echo do kind of resonate cards. Unlike paper games, we have limited visual real estate. Beg to differ. Something like Graveyard is ever. Once it's in the game, we're really unlikely to take it out. And you have to really love the mechanic and think we'll love it forever. Potentially more than other mechanics that could use the same real estate. You have a history. I don't care about the game history. Replace the history button with a graveyard. I believe I don't know. Apparently, that's from the design director, Legends of Runeterra. But there's the thing. Glad to see they aren't biting off mechanics from other games, even though graveyard effects are called graveyard effects. What do you mean graveyard effects? They already have graveyard effects in the game. Are these new? Are reviving monsters new to the game? Have they only come in the last like 3 months? 3 months ago, people were like, yeah, who needs graveyard effects? This game has so many other things going for it. Is not reviving things a graveyard effect? I was gonna say. What's that over? Go over. Go. Excellent. Blood. Blood Brom can be good. To get some of this.
I'll try anyone.
Alright, survive damage. I don't terribly mind about that too much. Alright.
Winter take you! My arrow won't miss.
Let's see. Look what you.
Save the homestead.
They probably made it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay.
Advent, come here, handsome.
Hello, dear. What have you got us into now?
A chill in the air.
My turn.
Again?
If it's a fight they want,
Is that all?
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Hello, my darling.
one gets to survive that.
Shatter them!
Let's do expensive. He's pretty good though. Be fairly fun. Blood Brawl. Probably we want Blood Brawl early and Divya Tryndamere late. I think it's too spread out though. Chicato.
My sweet little plaything.
Kim? Now you're gonna buff it. You're gonna let me kill it. You wanna buff him? You got something. Take him down.
Sends chills up my spine.
The bloodier the better.
What did you do? Brothers bond? Oh, right.
Bitter cold.
This is fine. Still gonna take a decent amount of damage. But he needs to go.
Ice runs in our veins. There is no shelter.
Be grateful I even noticed you.
Shatter them! There is no shelter.
Mother!
Sends chills up my spine.
How do you get health back? Should have done.
This'll take the chill off.
Nice. He didn't.
Ice runs in our veins.
Rom is on the job.
Alert the kitchen. We'll need more food.
I mistook his health for my health. I was like, I can finish in this turn. Yeah, I should have delayed a little bit longer. Killed that. Killed everything. But this is still fine.
Time for talking to. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, I'll do that. Fine.
Through the ice.
Should have taken. Well, stupid. Had the rabbit again.
Many tribes under one banner.
Everyone bleeds for the right price.
Today we fight as one. Avarosans, stand together.
Would have won if I had killed that with the rabbit. Twice I fucked up. It's like round by round at this point. Will I finish you off this round? You extra?
Let's talk about your dad. I've carved meat bigger than you.
Yes. Good job.
Till the end.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait. I love a taste of the action.
This is our homeland.
But my friend...
By all means, get in my way.
Look what you did.
It's about how many cards I got. But we'll always summon stuff.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
Advent, come here, handsome.
Hello, dear. What have you got us into now?
Come here, darling.
Will you be quiet?
Like this deck has nothing to do with any of you.
Oh, this hurts.
The frost reveals all to me.
Be grateful I even noticed.
Just happened to draw the perfect card for the situation.
Finally, someone with class.
A pleasure to see you too, my dear.
Our strength is yours.
Sends chills up my spine. Shatter them!
Our banner will lead the way.
I wasn't thinking it wanted it to be.
Oh, please.
Not the face!
Will you be quiet? Oh, please.
Fine, fine.
Warm hots and hot soup.
A new era begins!
That was the complete other side of that deck. Didn't so wasn't dealing damage to anything. Like yeah, no, that was just I'm gonna build things up. Smack. Lucian. Really? Only Demacia?
Push back the darkness.
Sorry. There's a lot to think about.
This is mercy.
It's fairly strong for a 2.
Winter take you!
My shield is yours.
Leaping into action!
Stand and fight. Strike hard, strike true. Save the homestead.
God damn her.
I've always got your back.
Don't worry about me.
If I could freeze it. Nice.
Honor guide me.
It's like I'm not gonna play it. It's not happening.
We fight for one Freljord. Today we fight as one.
Shield up.
Oh.
My duty.
You said the perfect response to everything that I like. I don't have. I have perfect things, but I'm getting things that I be able to do something with. And he's responding with the perfect things every time. It's incredibly lucky.
One banner, one destiny.
Old masks let young eyes see clearly.
Burn away the shadows.
Much more.
Kinku, hold fast.
Doesn't.
Kinku still rise.
Our banner.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
I'm gonna wait till the Nuki comes around and then get food with him. I haven't had
Always got your
lunch or
back.
anything.
Don't
so-
worry about me.
It's been one of those games. I've been having some luck lately. Like I was losing streak when I first got up, and now winning streak. Then played a few practice rounds with like somebody else who was on stream, but now they've left. But this game, like the previous game, just got really lucky with my cards and got out like just crippled this person completely. Just combated like every. The combination of cards I was drawing was perfect for the deck that I was fighting. May not every deck, but just perfect for the deck that I was fighting. But I never saw Anivia. It was like the other half of my deck that's there because I don't have all of the support Anivia cards. And they all came out and it worked perfectly. Against this guy, however, the opposite thing's happening of like, I'm getting okay to survive cards. I'm hanging in there as best I can. Every time I think, oh, I can do something here. I can get this game back. It's fine. I can at least be even with them. Throw out a card, they've got instant perfect counter for it. The only card that their deck could have possibly had with the one faction. You can get two factions. They've only got one. They've only got one faction's cards available in their deck. It was just like, here's another. They're like, nope, perfect counter. But like 4 times and going, all right, I guess these games are going to happen. Oh yeah, I know, but at that point, I was like, they're getting things that are working really well. I'm not. This is like the best I could do. It's not, ooh, I could wait for next turn and I can protect it just in case I've got the thing. It's like, I will lose this round if I don't. But if I pull this off, I will have the upper hand. There's only one thing that can counter it. Oh, they've got it. But again, I can turn this back around, but I have this one chance to do it. I've just drawn the right card. I can, nope. They've got the one card in the game that can counter that too. All right, but another. It happened 4 times. It's just like, yeah, all right. I'm not saying, like, I know it happens sometimes. It's amusing though. It's like, oh, they had a lucky game. I'm gonna have like I had a lucky game the game before, so I can't complain. But no, I've very much gone the whole, like, if I know that they could have the card that'll counter it and actually make it not worth playing at all, then I'm not going to play it until I can deal with the counter. Which is why I much prefer the control decks. I'm going to make sure that you have to spend all of the cards in your hand. I need to know what you have. I'm not allowed to do anything until you don't have any cards left. It's a good deck. I like it. Now I have 2 lonely poros. And Braum. They're going to be so happy together. Darius and Tryndamere. Whoa, they're going for high amounts of damage. That Poro died lonely. I didn't get a chance to make it jubilant before it died. I sent it off to its doom while it was still lonely. Well, I mean, it needed to defend our kingdom.
In Avarosa's name. Alert the village. Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Mustache. I think Nuki's going to be coming over sometime soon. Like, fairly soon. So after this game, I gotta go take a quick shower, clean up a little bit more. Why do they have nothing?
Left for a snack? Very scary.
Aw. Brom talks to all of the Poros when you summon them. There's a fearsome Poro, a sinister Poro that has fearsome. That can't. Fearsome means it can't be blocked by things with less than 3 power. And Brom goes, oh, very scary. He's so cute. What the fuck is this thing? Granted plus. Oh.
Locked and ready.
None of that shit. Fuck right off with that.
Leaping into action.
Try to understand. I matter, you don't.
Our strength is yours.
You tell it.
Let's get this over with. This is our homeland. You are safe with Brom.
He buffs it. Gonna be sad, but he's probably gonna buff it. Ooh, strong.
Till the end. It is easy, see? We go where the War Mother bids.
Oh. Still cheese.
First we fight. We should be friends. My arrow won't miss.
Oh, please.
Save the homestead. War teaches us all. Every scar a lesson. Think hard. Think strong.
Yes. Because that's not your problem.
This is our home. Help is on the way.
Too much cheese.
I'll fight another day.
Hmm? Cut it in half long triangle ways, and it'll be fine. You know what's great? Well, not great. You know what Lofty doesn't seem to realize? He knows for a fact that
Hear that? Gotcha.
I've got these. I won't fail.
Let's show our friends the door. Have you met my shield?
I'd ask your name, but I don't care.
Intruders, stay back!